Hey everybody, it is Gootz's Wrestling Pod. We're here with the Raw post show with Andrew Lee. Andrew, how you doing tonight?
I'm excellent. Just saw some old episodes and saw how bad my facial hair is. I don't care.
How is
Why did you tell me?
Looks great. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
How's quarantine treating you?
Yo, man, it's great. I mean, I don't. I'm an introvert, so I don't really mind staying right in my room. I nap a lot. Last night, 10 hours. Right.
Jesus.
Well, actually, that was it. I mean, Saturday night, 10 hours, and then I took an hour nap during the day as well. So, I mean,
I gotta admit, like I used to stay up like back in the day when I used to before comedy, when I would stay home on Mondays and watch Raw. I would stay up until like 5, 6 hours on the internet and stuff. And like after I upload this, I'm just gonna go to bed. Like I'm like, oh wow, like because it's just so much more fun to get stuff done during the day, especially now with
wait.
the virus.
So wait, before comedy, you would watch Monday Night Raw,
Live, yeah,
and then which would end at, let's say,
11,
11:10, the latest, right?
yeah, and then I would stay up till like 4 or 5 in the morning,
Doing what?
like just go on the internet or fucking
Oh,
around. Or, yeah, yeah, of course, jerking off. I mean,
damn.
especially in those Lita days. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it.
Connections were slow, so you had to wait for it to
Yeah,
upload.
but or I would go. There's like chat rooms. I would go like I have wrestling fans like this thing called Thread APA and stuff. But now it's well the best was back when Raw and Nitro. So I would watch Raw live. You
Oh,
wait an hour, you like an hour break, and then you watch Nitro from midnight to 2 in the morning, and then you go to bed.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, one of some of the differences that happens is because number one, you have less responsibilities when you're younger, so you don't mind staying up super late.
Well, right now I have no responsibilities, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
And also, as you get older, you just get more tired. So.
All right, so let's talk about this Raw. Lots to talk
Yeah.
about. Why don't you give us the recap and we'll break down our
Sure.
thoughts.
Yeah, I'll give you I'll start doing it. It starts off with an Asuka versus Liv Morgan match. This was a very fun match, very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
I liked it a lot. Again, Liv Morgan has the last 2 days. You should go back and watch the Natalia match. She's really stepped up her game, I think.
Yeah, I remember you saying how she had the pre-show match and it was really good. And this one, it wasn't a squash range. It was very competitive. Liv Morgan from Elmwood Park, New Jersey. Man, it was really close to where I live. Close to Hasbrook Heights,
Okay.
which you know where that is.
She probably goes to bananas when it existed.
She probably does. No, it was around. Yeah, she did this one great move where Asuka was on the outside of the ring and Liv was laying on her back in the ring. She grabs the ropes and pulls her legs through, gets Asuka in like a head scissors, and then does like a hurricanrana, like a head scissor takedown. Did you see that? That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was a really good move. What do you call it? It was just like a very fun match where I'm gonna be honest, I don't watch a lot of Liv Morgan matches, so this was the first time I really got
I
to
think
see
there's
her.
a lot of Liv Morgan matches to watch.
Yeah,
At this point, yeah.
this wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. To be fair, I think when you're in the ring with Asuka usually makes everybody kind of look good. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to see her in a match with, let's say, I don't know, Alexa Bliss and see how that goes.
Yeah.
But good way to start off. Good way to start off.
Good way to start off. Okay,
Yeah.
next up.
They had a Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler recap of what happened at WrestleMania, and then they did a Becky Lynch post-match promo, like a 2 days later promo, and then they did a Shayna Baszler promo as well 2 days afterwards, where she's wearing tons of makeup, like a ridiculous amount of makeup. It just kind of signified that this is not over,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Anything to talk about that?
No, it was what it was. It was fine.
Yeah, it was just what it was. Yeah, and then from this point, so far it's all good. But then we got into some real bullshit here, where it starts off with a Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Austin Theory rematch.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much like very next day, which I hate those, but I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. It's just like the same thing you're seeing from yesterday, and then it just ends with a bullshit DQ
And then Bianca Belair comes out.
Yeah, and then it goes to Bianca Belair versus Selena Vega. that turned into a bullshit ending. It turns into on 3-on-3, and Bianca Belair wins with KOD. I just hated the fact that they kept doing the bullshit endings and turned this. They just milked this. They just milked this for as long as they could.
Oh my god, it was fucking atrocious. I mean, why can't you just have the 6-man tag right from the start? Why did you need to do all this other bullshit? I would have preferred they had the 6-man tag and then they just aired a classic match. Like, it was fucking horrible. You could tell that they just were trying to kill 3 hours, you know?
Yeah. This thing took a lot of time, and you could tell they're doing it to just eat up as much time as possible.
Oh my! Every time I went to commercial, I just was like, "What the fuck is this?" And the other thing too is like, I mean, like you haven't done you're giving Austin Theory all this screen time. He had a match last week. Mm-hmm. He had a match at WrestleMania. He's had first of all, the guy hasn't won anything. Second of all, I don't know a fucking thing about this kid, and now he's like taking up like. How much screen time? He's like on the show more than fucking Austin was back in the day. Mm-hmm. And it was atrocious. It was really bad. It was just.
This was also Bianca Belair's debut on Raw. And
she looked the best out of all 6 of those idiots.
Yeah, she looked good and she won, but this was not a good match to like showcase her because it was a match that annoyed the shit out of you, you know?
Yeah, because it just kept going.
Yeah, and you're just like, do you need to do this bullshit finishes for these 2? Like, it's technically 3 matches. I counted it as 1 match because it was just bullshit.
It went 36 minutes, I think, without commercials. Or something.
Holy crap, that's ridiculous.
I don't know. It was fucking.
Edge Orton are atrocious, right?
And then we get to some more bullshit.
The Lashley Lana drama.
No, that's not. That's cool. I like that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, they did a little bit of that where it looks like Lashley. He's been married for what? 2 months, a couple months.
Yeah.
He wants a divorce already. He goes, maybe I need a new manager. Maybe I need a new wife.
Yeah. Right. Well, one problem. This guy's ready to fucking.
It's the most interested I've been in Lashley.
Whatever happened to Crystal? Remember he's married to Crystal? What happened to that chick?
Yeah, what happened to her?
I mean, I think they got divorced in real life, but that's kind of.
Oh, that's what happened. They got divorced in real life. They probably have some beautiful children. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
All right, the next match after that, Aleister Black versus Apollo Crews, who's now Raw. They said that he shipped over to Raw.
I completely forgot he's on SmackDown. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this match was another fucking disaster.
I don't know if it was a disaster. It was a very long match. This went through
way too long.
3 commercial breaks. That's how long this match was.
This match was 28 minutes long.
I think they were trying to use this to make. Not only to kill time, but to build up Apollo Crews because he was just like bottom of the barrel. This was not the way to do it.
But here's 2 things. Number 1, it's 3 years too late. Mm-hmm. You've had so many. You have neglected this guy since 2016, and now suddenly you're going to give him 20 minutes on Raw. Also, wrong opponent. If this had been Seth Rollins and it went 28 minutes, then you would have made Apollo Crews. Aleister Black is not at the point. It just made Aleister Black like an idiot. Like, how could you dispose of Bobby Lashley so easily, but you can't? Sheamus was beating up Apollo Crews and Shorty G all by himself a month ago. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, it's like, and I was like, Ray DeVito was sitting with me, and he goes, okay, the reason, and I'll give him this. He said, if the black guy, you don't know the names, the black guy wins, it's worth going this long.
When you say black guy, it's still confusing because
Apollo Crews, black. Yeah, Apollo Crews. If he goes, if Apollo Crews wins, it's worth going this long. But if the white guy wins, then why did it go this long? Because it was a foregone conclusion that he's going to lose.
Yeah,
it didn't do either one of these guys favors. I thought it should have been Seth.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Apollo Crews still lost.
He still lost.
It made Aleister Black look weaker, and it made Apollo Crews didn't bring him up as much as they should have.
No.
I would have put him up against like I don't know who's available, but if like
Seth was available.
Yeah, Seth is available, but I didn't think they wanted to give Seth a letter loss.
But he would have won. He would have won.
But what I'm saying, who could you put in this match where you actually put over Apollo Crews, where he actually gets to win in a competitive.
Rey Mysterio,
No,
but
that's
he was
available.
sick.
That's not sick. That's not sick.
Okay. Also, Andrade would have been good, but he's sick. That's
Angel
there.
Garza?
Let me think of the Raw card. Oh, Bobby Lashley would have been good.
Yeah.
Bobby
Lashley
Lashley has
good.
more street cred, I feel, than
Yeah.
fucking,
No, that's a good point. And
yeah.
and he can take a loss. He's
And
not.
Bobby Lashley could have lost if Finn Balor was still on Raw. They could have used
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It went way too long though. It went way
Yeah.
too long.
I
And at this,
enjoyed it, but it was way too long. For no
dude,
audience, you can't be going this long.
dude, this episode really felt like a 3-hour Velocity or a 3-hour Superstars. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, let's
Mark
keep
Henry
going.
said this was a Raw with no direction.
It
There
was.
was
It
no,
was. It wasn't. Well, I
yeah,
think they knew they weren't sure. Here's what I heard. So, Florida has a stay-at-home order. Apparently, they are going to film SmackDown and Raw live at the Performance Center this week. The reason being is Florida has said that WWE is an essential business, which makes no fucking sense to me. I cannot stand next to anyone at the fucking post office, but Apollo Crews and fucking Aleister Black and have their sweaty bodies all over each other in a ring. That makes no fucking sense to me. I don't understand how it's because Vince gives money to Trump. That's what it has to be.
because
That.
somebody else got a briefcase full of money. That's
Yeah,
why.
I don't understand how you could rationalize
By the way, one of my
UFC.
guys wants to murder someone. By the
Yeah.
way, here's an
Can
extra.
I just tell you something?
briefcase.
If Vince and Dana White voted Democrat, these fucking events would have been shut down so fucking fast.
Wait, so you're saying that so this Raw that we just watched, it was filmed in advance, but this week they're gonna film again?
They're gonna tape SmackDown live, and in the Performance Center, Florida said they could, according to WrestleVotes on Twitter. Florida told them they were essential business.
Okay, so I know NXT this week is in the can, right?
Yeah.
This SmackDown is going to be live, and I wouldn't be surprised if they filmed extra more stuff while they're filming, just in case they get shut down again.
I mean, they should be shut down. This is just ridiculous, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
So what was after Aleister Black?
After Aleister Black, it was Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus Ricochet and Cedric Alexander in a competitive squash, I like to call it, where it's kind of a squash, but it was more competitive than your usual squash. Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, remember I told you I wanted to see these guys in a tag team again. Looks like they're keeping it that way.
Yep, they're a tag team now.
Yeah, and Ricochet's finisher changed. They called it the recoil, but it wasn't like the recoil that you see. It was like TJP's detonation kick, where he has you up in the fireman's carry and then he just drops you into a kick in the face. But I guess it's easier. It looks better. It was nice to see Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan on Raw. That's their Raw debut too, I think. Right?
Yeah, it was a lot of people's Raw debuts. Here's the thing, though. They tell you NXT is the third brand, and they brought all these NXT guys tonight to lose to the Raw guys in very quick fashion.
God. This was legit, like so many people's debut on Raw, and it was them just jobbing the fuck out.
Yeah, them just looking like fucking idiots to the Raw roster. It was like, so NXT's not the third brand. They're all a bunch of herbs.
No, it is the third brand. It's the squash brand.
It's the shitty brand. Yeah, they got They got their asses beaten.
Oh,
and
man.
Danny and Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch have been set up on 205 Live and NXT.
Yeah,
as very competent and kind of killers. And then they just look idiots here. And I was just like,
they're always a contender tag team. The only thing about them is that they need a lot of work done. They need a better finisher than they have. They need an actual team name. They need to get better gear. They need to do a lot of things. They just can't just be two random guys, because if they're going to be two random guys, this is what's going to happen to them every single freaking time,
Yeah.
Because they have a lot more talent than that. I like them. But
I like them too.
We have Kevin Owens video promo, right, where he talks about how this is now the Kevin Owens show, and he's going to, I guess, smack around more bitches or something like that. And it leads right into Seth Rollins versus NXT's Denzel Desjardins. which was a squash. This was not even this was just a squash.
This was just they made that guy. They made this. How is he on NXT? Does he actually wrestle? Was he good?
I have never seen this guy wrestle. This is the first time I'm watching Denzel Desjardins, and so he looked like a poor man's Jason Jordan. Like,
I mean, he looked like an idiot with this Seth Rollins match. But.
Yeah, he's got an amateur background. He's been some kind of like collegiate wrestling champion, but and he's wearing a singlet to like signify that. But that he was a squash, and then right after that we get a return of Nia Jax. Right?
Yeah,
that was surprising. I was surprised by that. And when I was watching Tamina this whole week, I kept thinking Nia Jax. Like, it kept popping in my head, and I think they brought Tamina in just so that people would get ready for Nia Jax or something like that.
I think you might be right. But it was great to see Nia Jax back. Although Dina, what's her name?
Deanna Purrazzo, another New Jersey native.
And I think she has a lot of potential, and they just fucking squashed her and made her look like an idiot too.
Deanna?
This was the right of making NXT look like idiots, but.
Oh yeah, they totally made Deanna. This was not a competitive squash. This was a squash.
This was a complete squash. I mean, I get Nia Jax is back and all this shit, but again, you're just flushing all this NXT talent down the drain.
Here's the thing, though. Okay, Denzel Desjardins, I've never seen him wrestle on NXT, right? And he got squashed. Deanna Purrazzo is on NXT a bunch of times where she's in competitive matches, and they squashed her. That makes it look real bad. It's like, what are you saying about the women's competition in NXT? But yeah, this was a squash. It was nice to see Nia Jax back, but I didn't like that they squashed Deanna like that, but whatever.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that either.
Yeah. Then you had Humberto Carrillo versus Brendan Vink. Remember Brendan Vink, the big Australian guy he teamed up with Shane Thorne a couple of weeks ago on Raw.
Yes, and now he's losing horribly.
Well, he's only been losing, dude. I haven't seen him win. I haven't seen him win a single match.
Another NXT guy losing.
But it was a competitive squash. He
got some offense in, but at this point, I couldn't believe I was watching. It felt very much like a mid '80s show. It didn't feel like any Raw that I've ever seen. It felt like a very early Raw, like a 93, 94 Raw, but extended to 3 hours.
Yeah, it was weird because the first hour of Raw is competitive, and then the next hour and whatever is just squash after squash after squash. 4 consecutive NXT squashes.
Yeah.
They undid everything they did at the Survivor Series. It's like WWE, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. It's just like, it's insane. Do you think they just gave up? No, they didn't just. I was gonna ask you if do you think they just giving up on NXT, but they're not, because right after this we had a promo from the new NXT Women's Champion Charlotte, which was just like nothing promo about how she's now the NXT champion. You know,
Ray DeVito said it best. You're not your dad. You never will be. That's what he said when he watched the promo. He goes, "Why is she trying to be like her dad?" I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
and now she's calling herself Miss WrestleMania. I'm like, all right, calm down. You had one good match in 2016 at WrestleMania. All your other this was maybe the third best match up between both nights last night. But just relax, all right? You're not Shawn Michaels, all right? Calm the fuck down.
Do you think her and what's her name again? Fuck, I already forgot her name. Rhea Ripley. What? You think that was the third best match of all of WrestleMania?
Maybe 4th or 5th. I don't know. I think first was the Boneyard. Second was Firefly. Let's rate this.
The ladder match was good.
Ladder match was 3rd. 4th, I would put Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And then I guess 5th would be Charlotte. Yeah.
I thought the women's tag match was really good.
You know what? That was good. Fuck Charlotte. Asuka is actually Miss WrestleMania.
That one wasn't so good because it made Rhea look like she made her look like an idiot. You know?
Yeah. It wasn't that good. By the way, Liv Morgan undefeated at WrestleMania. I think they should keep that going. No matter how bad her career is, Liv should always win at WrestleMania. Start a new streak. I think they should.
How many times has she been in WrestleMania?
Oh, just last night.
Oh, well, she wasn't even. That was pre-show. That doesn't.
No, I'm counting it, and she's gonna be undefeated. I would be like, fuck it, just start a new streak, but make her standard scrub Liv the rest of the year, but at WrestleMania she keeps winning, and then like all of a sudden like she's fighting Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch is like, usually I'm not afraid of you, but holy shit, you don't lose at WrestleMania.
Yeah, maybe that's to be it.
Yeah.
She needs a gimmick, so because they just totally just gave up on that reinvention gimmick thing, didn't
The
they?
lesbian, I'm in love with Lana. That was
She needs
It
something.
wasn't her fault. It was more Lana's fault.
Yeah.
All right,
All
so
right, so
what's
right after
next?
this Charlotte promo, we had a Drew McIntyre promo,
Oh,
and
this was weird.
this was really weird, but I liked it. So
This is at WrestleMania.
this was the one thing that they kept mentioning throughout the whole show. This was the thread that was connecting the whole show, and it was terrible. Where we're going to show you the footage that happened right after WrestleMania. And then basically 20 minutes after his match with Brock Lesnar, Drew comes back into the ring, still in his gear with the belt, starts giving a promo. And then Big Show's music hits, and he's coming out there with a referee in his gear. They talk shit to each other. Big Show slaps Drew McIntyre, and then they just start a match. And Show is just beating the crap out of him.
Yeah.
And then at the last minute, Drew just starts firing back, hits him, Claymore, and he wins the match. I liked it, though. Did you like it?
I liked it at the end. I just think it's kind of silly. Like, at WrestleMania, this guy, 20 minutes after WrestleMania, they brought this guy out back to the ring to cut a promo. And then Big Show, it was just very silly. And essentially, Big Show main evented WrestleMania. We have to give him this.
There was a moment where I thought Big Show was gonna win, because I was like,
I thought he was gonna win because of that Netflix show.
Yeah, he's got
They're
that
gonna
big
promote the Netflix show.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna pull a Hogan on.
I thought he had a better match with Drew than fucking Brock Lesnar. If that means anything.
Yeah, he did. Big Show. That match benefited from being in an empty arena, because you heard Big Show just talking a lot of crap. There's a moment where he grabbed Drew's face with his like humongous bare hands, and he's like, "I've been here for 4 decades. You know how many people I face," right? Like just screaming in his face. I was like, that's so scary, you know. And then every time he roared, he sounded like a dinosaur. You know?
Yeah.
Like, Big Show's a scary dude.
He can be, and he's also a nice dude, as evident by his charming sitcom on Netflix.
Can you imagine? I bet you Big Show, like every single dump he takes is a double flusher. I guarantee you, it's a double flusher every time.
Oh yeah, 100%. That guy doesn't fuck around.
Yeah, it's a double flush.
I liked it. I thought it was very odd. I thought they could have done the same thing by having it on Raw rather than right after WrestleMania. If they had him in the ring, but like I get it. It makes Drew look stronger because he beats Brock Lesnar and Big Show in the same night.
Yeah,
Claymore.
Yeah, they did mention that. He was like, "Oh, I don't want to fight you right now. I just got off a match with Brock Lesnar," and he gets goaded into the match. So that's why he's getting his butt kicked the whole match. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they could have just done a main event on Raw where it's like they could act like it was a different night. But
we all know they taped. We all know they taped everything at once.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I thought this was, first of all, this was the by far the worst post WrestleMania Raw ever. Last year was pretty bad. This year was worse. I get why it was like that though, because of the situation. Mm-hmm. But also, if this is what Raw and SmackDown are going to be because of the virus, just don't tape Raw or SmackDown. Why do you have to have Apollo Crews and Aleister Black wrestle for 40 minutes in the middle of a fucking pandemic? Just show us like old matches.
You know, if you are somebody who just likes wrestling matches, this is a good Raw for you, because they had 7 matches.
Well, but only 2 were like legit matches. The rest were just squashes.
Yeah. And it was not. It was a boring Raw. It was a boring Raw. Like a lot of these things, I'm trying to give WWE like a benefit of the doubt, because I'm like, I mean, they're just doing with the best they can, you know.
I get it, but I get why they had to do through WrestleMania, because they had storylines and they had matches set up. But WrestleMania is over. It's over. Yeah. Like, you can do whatever you want now, and I don't understand why they just don't stop, freeze the storylines, and then let me tell you something. You know this, that whatever Apollo Crews thing they're doing is going to get dropped the minute they can be in front of crowds. The minute they can be in front of crowds, Roman Reigns is going to be in the ring.
Or when everybody comes back from being sick.
Yeah, Seth Rollins is going to be doing 30-minute promos. They're not going to give let's say Apollo Crews gets like a 30-minute match every week until this virus lets up, which is great for him. They're not going to follow that up. He's going to be back on main event. Like half the shit they're doing right now is because I almost feel like they're putting out people that they don't give a shit about, letting them wrestle long because they don't care if Apollo Crews and Aleister Black get corona. They don't give a shit. They care more if Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins gets it. That's why Seth is only out.
Yeah, they're also using this opportunity to try to keep talent happy. Like, hey, see where we're using you, because they want
like,
talent to come in,
Austin Theory's been on Raw now. So, I mean, it just is like, dude, it's like
he's pretty good though.
He's good, but I'm just like, dude, it's like we don't need wrestling this bad. Like, maybe come back when you can be in front of crowds, even if it's like the ECW arena or other small venues like that. Come back then. Just stop doing this. I don't think it benefits anyone.
Austin Theory should have a gimmick where he's like an orphan, and like the theory is that Stone Cold Steve Austin is his father, and he's doing wrestling to get connected with his dad. That's why his name is the Austin Theory. Like that would be like I would love it if that was his gimmick.
You put a lot of thought. You put a lot of thought in that one. So, what do you think? You think we're gonna get SmackDown on Friday? Or do you think the Florida government's gonna be like, wait a minute, we just realized you're a bunch of half-naked men rolling around. You're canceled.
Dude, I didn't even realize that they got this okay, but
that's what I heard on Twitter. But who knows if that's true or not?
If you're wrong, I get to punch you in the face.
I didn't fucking.
You know what your shirt reminds me of? Speedball.
Nasty Boys, baby.
Yeah, it's nice Nasty Boys, but I only see you from the collar up, so it looks like Speedball. It reminds me of Speedball.
I've just been wearing wrestling shirts I take a shower like around 6 and I put on a wrestling shirt to watch the wrestling. And today I said, fuck, this is extra large. I don't wear this outside anymore because I lost all that weight. But I'm like, fuck it. The funny thing about Nasty Boy shirt is no matter how much weight you lost, once you put on a Nasty Boy shirt, you automatically look fat because those guys were so fucking fat.
Yeah. I like the Nasty Boys. They're Nasty Boys right. Yeah.
Like you could put fucking Roman Reigns in a Nasty Boy shirt. You're like, wow, he really let himself go.
Really let himself go in the quarantine. Oh, look at this guy, this fat fuck.
Fat fuck. All right, overall, what do you give it? What do you give it out of a score 1 out of 10? What do you give Raw tonight, buddy?
If 10 was the best and 1 is the worst, this was like a 5. Somewhere right in the middle.
I would give it like a 3 or a 2, especially as a follow-up to WrestleMania. I mean,
there were some cool things that I liked because I saw some new talent, Nia Jax's return, and that
was nice.
Show thing at the end, that was unexpected. So I can't really say it was the worst Raw because I've seen Raws where we have 3 hours and we only had 2 matches. That pissed me off one time where it was a 3-hour Raw and there was legit like 2 matches. Yeah. This was at least there was like wrestling on it. And I was like, oh, that's the name of the game is wrestling. So I'm like, that's what I want. So, but this was like a no storyline driving Raw.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because I just feel like a lot of these things that they did tonight, they're not going to follow up once Corona ends. They're only doing it to kill time and to have 3 hours on USA.
Yeah, and you can't blame them.
I can't blame them.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't replay any. I was a little scared that they were going to replay matches from WrestleMania.
No, that's stupid because you tried to con people into spending $60. That would have been stupid.
But there was a moment where I thought they were going to do that.
Yeah, well, Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer said they were, which but they were just pulling it out of their assholes like they usually do. Yeah. Fuck Dave Meltzer.
I listened to, by the way, some of the Wrestling Observer, and Brian Alvarez really shitted on the Funhouse match.
I don't understand how you could shit on that. I don't understand how this is a guy like me and you casually watch wrestling. Like we're only watching wrestling now because it's the virus and we have nothing better to do. So
I wasn't casually watching. I was watching a lot even before the virus.
All right, shut up. Yeah. But what I'm saying is like right now you're watching it live, which you were usually out doing stand up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like I don't understand how you can sit and watch wrestling since the fucking 90s every week, week in and week out, watch all this shit and not appreciate the love and the humor that segment had. What did he want them to do? Did he want them to have an actual fucking match? Bray Wyatt sucks in the ring. John Cena and him did not have good matches 6 years ago when they were both younger. What the fuck would you want them to do? I want to know what this guy expected. This was funny and fun.
I think it's because it becomes a job. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
with Brian Alvarez?
Yeah, it's his job, so he has to watch it.
Like, but don't you have any, like, I don't have a lot of nostalgia for 2002, 2003 wrestling, because I don't, because, like, I was, like, really disenfranchised with it, especially without WCW and ECW. But, like, when the SmackDown Fish showed up and he walked out dressed like the Prototype, I was like, this is awesome. Like, it just made me feel like, wow, they're rewarding you for paying attention, which is what they never do. And in wrestling, all we do is pay attention.
Yeah.
That's all we do as fans, just pay attention to all this little shit. So I don't get how you could not like it if you watch wrestling.
Well, his reasoning was it wasn't believable. Because he was saying, like, the Boneyard match, he loved the Boneyard match. And he said the Boneyard match, it's not possible, but it's believable that while AJ Styles was up on the tractor thing, the bulldozer, that Taker crawled out of the hole, went behind him. Mm-hmm. It's not possible. It's not, but it's believable that because Undertaker knew where this match was going to take place, he went there ahead of time and put, like, fireworks up on that shed thing. That's why
that's the least possible thing.
Yeah,
like,
I know,
he put fireworks on top of a shed.
That was
his magical powers.
That was his argument.
Oh my God.
Don't get me wrong. Remember, I don't agree with him. I actually thought both matches were, dude, wrestling is not real. And
I want to ask this guy a question. Well, then how can he sit there and, like, ejaculate over Orange Cassidy or the penis droids or Joey Ryan's penis, or, like, half the other goofy shit these other companies do, and this is the time travel Bray Wyatt stuff. Bray Wyatt's the Firefly Funhouse has been unbelievable and weird since it started. It was never normal. Mm-hmm. So why all of a sudden now is it like, oh, I don't believe that. I don't buy it.
I look at wrestling as it's entertainment. As long as I'm enjoying it, I don't care if it's believable or not, as long as I'm enjoying it. Now, if it gets too ridiculous where it makes me not enjoy it, that's when you know it's not good, you know?
Yeah.
By the way, go ahead.
I can also say this. We can also make the argument that Bray Wyatt has Mysterio powers. So he's just all this stuff was him messing with John Cena's head, you know. Mm-hmm. But when it became time for the actual physical confrontation, when the Fiend and John Cena physically fought, the Fiend squashed John Cena. So it would be different if, okay, here's the thing. Not realistic would be a Young Bucks match where, for example, if Bray Wyatt hit 27 finishers on John Cena and then John Cena kicked out, got up and hit five attitude adjustments on Bray Wyatt. That would be unrealistic. But when they actually got to the physical part where the two of them were actually touching, Bray Wyatt squashed John Cena. He squashed him. So how do you have a problem with that? If you know what I'm saying?
They should reveal that Bray Wyatt actually spiked John Cena's water and he was hallucinating the whole time.
Bray Wyatt hit his finisher on John Cena, both finishers once, and destroyed him. But you're gonna tell me the Young Bucks can get thrown off 15 buildings? But that's realistic. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. You're a big Young Bucks fan, right?
But those matches that him and Dave Meltzer jerk off about, these guys basically hit each other like 97 finishers in 20 minutes, and then the Young Bucks, their opponents get hit with like 15 different, like a pile driver off the top of a fucking building into like acid water, and then the opponent gets up and then delivers another crazy move to the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks get up. It's like, that's unrealistic. That's not what Bray Wyatt did last night. Come on, man.
I don't, by the way, I'm also not a big fan of that. It's like usually you see somebody do, basically what it looks like is somebody will do like a Canadian destroyer. The guy will pop up, hit a clothesline, and then they'll both fall down. It's like they'll take a power bomb, you'll pop right back up, and they'll hit. Like, you know who really started that? And I think everyone talks about how much of a genius this guy is, but sometimes I think he's an idiot. is Shibata from New Japan.
Oh,
Like,
well, of course.
He was the
That's
guy
why
who,
Dave
like,
Meltzer jerks off over it.
you give him a suplex, a German suplex, and everyone knows it's not real, but the whole point of wrestling is to act like it hurt. It's the whole storytelling aspect. He would take a German suplex, roll out of it, and then give the other guy a German suplex.
I've seen that, yeah.
He would get hit in the corner, and then as the guy's running away from him, he would run and hit the other guy in the corner too. The clothesline in the corner he just took meant nothing. And everyone talks about, like, I think he's the guy who started this, like, I'm not going to sell anything movement. And everybody, like, worships him. But this is also the idiot who headbutted Okada and basically ruined his own career, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not a big Shibata fan. He's all right.
Get down! I said to get down!
Dude, don't talk to your pets like that, man. That's pet abuse.
It's not pet abuse. He's at 2 rooms away from me on top of a table. I'm recording a podcast. I gotta get him off. He's off now. What?
Never mind.
What do you want me to do? Hey, don't stand on tables. They don't understand. Hey, could you not stand on the table when I'm talking about Shibata? What would you?
I don't know. Fucking move the chairs away from the table. They can't jump up.
But I gotta sit at the table when I'm done with you. Okay, so listen. Oh, by the way, I just want to say this. Dave Meltzer last week, I think we talked about this, was going on about how Japan, they don't have a lot of corona cases because they bow and we shake hands. Japan's corona cases now are soaring. Why anyone takes this guy seriously is I think you got to be out of your fucking mind. Take Dave Meltzer seriously. I want anything.
Well, you know what that is, right? And that's what he was like. You know what it is, right? See, what happened was when they were bowing, they rubbed somebody in the back the wrong way, and all of a sudden just started spreading.
Although the Japanese they pissed off Johnny Ace, and that's why they love Corona now.
Yeah, he was Baba's widow's love boy, right? Like, it's, dude. Japan and China were like clearly hiding their numbers.
Oh, the Japan's soaring. The numbers are soaring.
Yeah, now they're soaring because they're like, I'm out. It's too late now. The Olympics are over, and now we're just gonna reveal the truth. Yeah, he's a weeb. He's a weeb.
He's so fucking.
Talked about this. Yeah, he's a weeb, man.
I know. I know, but you brought up him and Brian Alvarez, and it's just like,
yeah.
I just feel like if you don't like that Firefly match, you don't actually like watching wrestling. Like, you don't like it. Like, you should probably stop watching it. That's my feeling. I think you should stop. Just go review golf.
If you don't, it's like, I don't know.
I think a lot of these guys don't like wrestling anymore, like the Bruce Mitchells and the Dave Meltzers. They don't actually like it, but this is like their job, so they have to keep reviewing it. But it's like, no, you actually don't like this, and you actually have shitty opinions, and I don't know, you don't add anything. You're just a horrendous human being. So just go do something else. I know you can't because you're in your 60s. This is all you fucking ever did.
Actually, it wouldn't be a bad job. Just that's all you did. But
I know. But all right, so that's our Raw review. We'll be back Friday for the SmackDown. Are you excited?
I gave our podcast tonight 7 stars. It was 7 stars.
7 stars tonight.
It was
20 stars. We have recorded this in the Tokyo Dome.
It was the greatest podcast ever.
Yes.
In North America. In North America, it was the greatest podcast
Guys,
ever.
Thank you for joining me to the Gootz Cast tonight. Tomorrow night, Ashley Martins will be talking about Ozark with me, and Andrew Lee will be back on Friday. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.